The feed. My mother and I both lived alone in an apartment together. We lived comfortably as she works a lot and most people say she kind of overworks. Well, 2 days ago, my mom was running late and left in a hurry. She came back home late and started acting weird. She would always scratch and shiver and look like her eyes were about to fall out. She was more pale than ever, and she always changed the thermostat really high. I'm worried about her and didn't know what to do today. She served me a tray of this slop, the same shade of her skin and the consistency of mashed potatoes. It even thinks it's moving on its own. I asked my mom what dinner was and all she said was the feed. She finally sat down with hers, and she ate quickly, like she had not eaten in days. She looked at me and asked, "Would you like me to add something?" I was confused. I asked her what she meant as she got up to the cutting board to grab a dirty knife. She slowly started cutting her left middle and index fingers off. As blood was pouring out of her fingers, she cut and separated the meat from her flesh and her bones, then quietly sat back down and put it in the slop. I was too scared to move or say anything. It felt like my body didn't want to respond. She started saying "eat" louder and louder as the skin on her face started to rip apart and formed into mouths chanting with her, "Eat, eat, 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 eat." Blood from the wounds on her face started seeping out, covering her face with blood. She finally yelled, in a demonic voice, "Eat." That's when I jumped up from my chair and started running as fast as I could to the front door, but she caught me. I woke up in a cage next to a big cutting board waiting to be eaten by her. I couldn't see, too dark to see further away. It was so quiet. All I heard was the beating in my heart and useless weeps and how loud I was breathing until I heard a voice right next to me. "You're now the feed."